After looking at this Jatiswaram, which potentially was an example of how we can use Bharatanatyam to think about movement specifically, we now move to the study of symbols and emotion. So we have symbols all around us, right? It could be the yellow M of McDonald's, which is a symbol, the C of Colombia, light blue, I think. It is light blue, right? Of Colombia, that's also a symbol. And by looking at these symbols, our brain interprets what these symbols mean. And again, thinking of it in a sort of an oversimplified way, there's a bunch of structures in the brain, all collectively known as the symbolic semantic system, that helps us understand or ascribe meaning to these gestures or symbols. Bharatanatyam can help us understand the link between symbols and their objects. So for example, we can try this. So if we have your thumb is between, the two middle fingers, and what could this be? It's something we use every day, at night, a bed, right? So the link between the object or the gesture and the object or its meaning. We can also use Bharatanatyam to understand how the brain derives meaning of a symbol from its context. The first piece you saw me use this symbol, which is a symbol for a mouse. That said, the same gesture can be used to show either confusion or forgetting. So depending on the context, we can use this to show a mouse, or right when we say, I forget how things were before COVID, or just confusion. And we can also use Bharatanatyam to understand the link between gestures and internal states of the body. I know we have my students here, thank you for joining, and we are learning a piece where this symbol, which is all fingers stretch exactly, and the thumb that's bent, we can use that to show around the chest either distress, so distress or separation or some kind of suffering. And I was at my work at the Museum of Natural History, I get to teach evolution. When we were talking about bats, I realized that in Bharatanatyam there was I did not know of a hasta or a gesture for bat. So I kind of made these up. Again, these are bats that are a bat that's hanging upside down a cave. And speaking to the fact that Bharatanatyam is a vocabulary. So just like any language, it evolves. And it is really up to the practitioners to create different gestures and different meanings. A study of Bharatanatyam can also help us understand how the brain perceives emotions. And again, there is a lot more to this. But the Navarasa, Nava means 9, Rasa can mean essence or emotion. These are the 9 rasas: love, laughter, sorrow, anger, courage, fear, disgust, surprise, and peace. And very minute movements of your eyes, eyebrows can be used to convey complex emotions. And speaking to our example of this hasta, which is called Mukula, we can use it to show forgetting. We can also use it to show an elephant's trunk. Oh, nice. And again, Pataka, our first hasta, can be used to show closing a door, opening a door, surprise at seeing your friend, or disgust, maybe smelling something that's unpleasant. And again, many scientists have studied this and continue to study this. And we can think of emotions, again, this is oversimplified, and the limbic system in the brain, which is associated with the expression of emotions. That said, we know from our personal experiences that memory plays a role as well. So we might associate a certain memory with something that's pleasant, something that's unpleasant, and that definitely plays a role as to how we perceive a similar kind of experience or event in the future. There's so many other things. There are childhood experiences, the way we are raised, the way we are socialized, the culture we grew up in, whole bunch of things that come into play. when we think of emotions. We will look at a padam. A padam is a small poem that this particular padam was written by a very famous poet based in South India about 120 years ago. His name was Bharathiyar. He was extremely prolific. He wrote hundreds of poems, songs. And in this one, our central character is a bee. And this is a bee that is, let's try. So our first finger is, it's a little bit twisty. And then the second and the thumb, perfect. You got it, Jayan. And, right, it's that buzzing, right, like that kind of sound. So, very nice. So our bee is the central character. And the poet tells this bee, your mouth is full of honey. Why don't you give my message to the god of dance, who's called Lord Shiva? We heard about him in the first piece. He says that it's such a beautiful, bright, and clear day, and the breeze is so pleasant. And he says that the deer, the peacock, and the cuckoo bird, they are still hibernating. So why don't you go give my message to Lord Shiva? He says how his love for Shiva is overflowing, and the only thing that's missing in his life is his presence. And could this be, please, 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 give this message to Shiva?
Gaana reengaram seyyum karuvande nee teenoorum vaayale Thillai maathanidam en nilai sollu. Gaana reengaram seyyum karuvande nee teenoorum Gaana reengaram seyyum karuvande nee teenoorum vaayale Thillai maathanidam en nilai sollu. Gaana reengaram seyyum karuvande nee teenoorum vaayale Thillai maathanidam en nilai sollu. Gaana reengaram seyyum karuvande nee teenoorum vaayale Thillai maathanidam en nilai sollu. Gaana reengaram seyyum karuvande வான நீலா ஒளியும் வசந்த மலர் காற்றும் வான நிலா ஒளியும் வசந்த மலர் காற்றும் மாயும் மயில் குயிலும் மயலூட்டி மயக்கும் முன்பே மாயும் மயில் குயிலும் மயலூட்டி மயக்கும் முன்பே வான நிலா ஒளியும் வசந்த மலர் காற்றும் ஏ உள்ளத்திலவன் காதல் ஊற்று பெருக்கெடுத்து உள்ளத்திலவன் காதல் ஊற்று பெருக்கெடுத்து வெள்ளமாய் திகழ்ந்தோடி வழுந்திடும் எனதன்பே உள்ளத்தில் அவன் காதல் ஊற்று பெருக்கெடுத்து வெள்ளமாய் திகழ்ந்தோடி வழுந்திடும் எனதன்பே துள்ளித் திரியும் இன்ப துணை நாடும் எனதாவி துள்ளித் திரியும் இன்ப துணை நாடும் எனதாவி கொள்ளையிட்ட கள்வன் திலை கூத்தன் கூரை தீர்ப்பானோ கொள்ளையிட்ட கள்வன் திலை கூத்தன் கூரை தீர்ப்பானோ கான ரீங்காரம் செய்யும் கருவண்டே நீ தேனூரும் வாயாலே தில்லைநாதனிடம் நிலை சொல்லு கான ரீங்காரம் செய்யும்